Okay, so lots of changes. I'm back, sort of, not really. I'm doing a YouTube video, but I don't know if I'm gonna be consistent or not, but I'm gonna do more maybe. Um, so a lot has changed. I got a haircut, because I don't think I've done YouTube for like 2 years since maybe before, I think I did a few after I went to Paul's the first time. The first time I went to Paul's in like 2022, I was still doing them. And then I did them until maybe about a year later. So I kind of haven't done a YouTube video since about 2023, something like that. And we're in 2025, and last year was pretty good. And I've developed a lot in my work. And now I am I have a shop, a gallery, a space sort of thing in a really good location in London. Um, in West London, well, northwest London, but it's more West London, I'd say. Very central location, sort of. Well, not the most central, but it's 15 minutes walk from Oxford Street, if that. About 10 minutes walk from the Wallace Collection, which is a very special art gallery in London that I love to go to. And it's about 5 minutes walk, 10 minutes walk from Marylebone High Street. It's in Marylebone, this gallery. I'll do a video in there in a few days, just to show you. Um, it's it's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful. It's in this. I lucked out on it. Basically, I have a very good friend who I've been talking to about showing my work, doing art fairs, stuff like that. I've been talking with my friend about this for a long time, and he said he'd keep it in mind. There were a few people I talked to about this, who are people who have connections, who are interesting people in London who know everyone, and this one friend of mine, very very good friend of mine, came back with something a few months later, just out of the blue, and it's a great opportunity, and I took it. I was a bit hesitant at first. I thought it was a bit like wasn't sure, but I took it. It's basically a a shop within a department store. If you know what a department store is, it's a huge shopping center. However, this one's a bit more interesting. It's not just your everyday shopping center, it's an antiques market, a huge one. One of the most famous ones in London, I think. All kinds of interesting tourists go there, all kinds of interesting people. You've had a few actors there as well. And I've got the smallest unit in the whole building on the highest floor. So I have the cheapest one in the whole place. And well, I'm happy just to have it, to be honest. It's in a good spot as well, and a lot of people walk past it, and it's very nice. It's a tiny thing, really. I'll make another video of it soon just to show. Um, it's it's teeny tiny, but it's big enough for me to sort of like put my work in. It's got this huge windows. It's like this tiny little showroom. It's really good. Um, very cheap and very lucky, honestly. There was a friend of mine who was, well, I can't really say how I got it, but it came from a friend. And I've been using it for about 2.5 months. Anyway, as for my actual work, I'll show what I'm doing. If I could turn the camera around, which I can't. Great. I bought a new phone with a new camera and I can't even. All right. See these? Stuff I'm working on. Yep. A lot. That stack looked a lot more impressive before, but I separate a few things. And these. I've got like a few things. Towels there. Ugh. I don't want to have to edit these damn videos because of like weird shit. I just want to do. I don't care. Yeah, this is other stuff. And this is stuff I'm working on. So yeah, I've got a lot of interesting work on the go. And yeah, I will talk about it a lot more in the coming weeks. This is just a little update. As usual, spontaneous videos, you know. I'm trying to, at the moment, I really want to, I don't know, I really want to just show my work quite a lot. I want to show all of it and sell all of it. I mean, it's been very popular. A lot of people have purchased. I'm very lucky. But I would like, I really want to do more art fairs. I want to do another, a gallery in a nice location. I want to do a lot of this stuff. It's really important to show work. And at the rate that I produce paintings, I could probably do 5 gallery shows a year. 5 proper gallery shows a year. You know, proper ones where they have, you know, a great big sort of white-walled building interior with like 20 paintings in it, or 30 or something, all of various sizes. I could probably do that 5 times a year, and I would love to do that 5 times a year. So currently I'm trying to sort of find, I'm pursuing these things, and I'm making a lot of new friends in this gallery as well, in this art shop. All of my neighbors in the shop are very nice people, all very interesting people. They all sell various things. There's an antiques market, so there's like jewelers, there's people who sell sunglasses, clothes, antique artworks, clothing, all sorts of interesting stuff. And there's guys there who like sell authentic 19th century like neoclassical art, and authentic like modernist works from the early 20th century. Someone in there had a deck of very interesting paintings done from the Soviet Union in the 1970s. A lot of them were just like kind of modernistic works, kind of nice really, done on cardboard, and a lot of them were just like prints of Lenin playing with children. It's a bit like Christian. They looked a bit like Christian art, or showing, you know, Saint Francis or something, doing some, you know, being nice and stuff, and except it's Lenin. Anyway, so people there sell all kinds of interesting things. These are art. These are sort of antiques dealers or art dealers, you could say, and they have a very very interesting connections, very interesting collections. Extremely interesting people. I'm very happy about all of this. Anyway, I'll just leave the video there because this is just a brief sort of video I want to do to catch up. Actually, no, I'll do one more thing. I'll show one painting that I'm doing, and I'll talk about it, because there's been a few developments with painting. It's been with painting. I've developed so much in the last 2 years. It's very hard to say. It's very hard to say. It's very hard to say where I've improved, because I feel like I've improved in every aspect of painting in the last 2 years. So I don't want to really talk about my improvements, because they are, not to flatter myself, but there are too many. I've been doing a lot more figurative work, meaning, you know, history paintings with figures in them. I'll talk about this. All right, so this thing here, and this is Fergus. This is bad light. I need a skylight, and I need a nice big lamp, and I need money to buy it, but I don't have any. This is something I did very spontaneously within about an hour. I put this big shape here, this shape here, and these shapes here. And I put a figure going across it, because I wanted the figure to go swooshing like this. And I was kind of torn between doing a Leda and the Swan, or a Cupid and the Bow. I went with Cupid and the Bow. She steals Cupid's bow, basically. So I've done this. I couldn't do this before. Or I was sort of doing it. I was kind of doing this, but not really. Like, I was doing this by accident quite a lot, not really understanding how I was doing it. Paul would explain it to me, and I would kind of understand, but in practice, I found it difficult still. This is a still life. This is another still life. Look at that table as well. This is some flowers. I've worked over this too many times. I've got this insane book collection now as well. I've got loads of books. This is this. These are just things that ideas I do. This. This is a Judgment of Paris. Some shapes. I can't really show that one right now. These. Anyway, I can't really show too much, but basically I'm getting better at coloring things in, I'm getting better at drawing things, I'm getting better at using darker colors, I'm getting better at... My brighter colors were always okay, always pretty good apparently, because, well, I used to practice... I had a kind of modernistic painting education at school, I'd say. Well, not necessarily, but my art teacher at school was very much into modernism and into the old masters, and she would often have us do copies of modernist works. It was very self-guided, honestly, it was very self-guided, but she wasn't exactly encouraging us to do contemporary art stuff. But naturally, when I was younger, very young, I was drawn to Cézanne, a lot of the surrealists too, but I was drawn to a lot of the modernist painters like Picasso and Cézanne and Van Gogh and Matisse, and I would often do copies of their things. And I think just visually, I was just attracted to those painters. I didn't look at old masters. That seemed a little bit unreachable, but I understand it a lot more now. So I had this kind of way. I did like Cézanne copies in my teens, and I was kind of encouraged to do. I was encouraged into doing like expressionistic paintings, expressionistic work. So I was encouraged to sort of express myself on the canvas, you know, make big marks and make big shapes on a canvas, make large curves and all sorts, render flesh in a very scratchy way. There were some contemporary painters I liked. I liked Francis Bacon when I was a teenager as well, as they all do. And at the same time, I was still good at doing trompe l'oeil stuff. I did a lot of realistic still lives where I would just sort of copy the thing in front of me. I practiced that a lot because I thought that was important. So I did a lot of that as well. I found it hard to fuse the two things, the abstract and the realism. And I think I have sort of figured it out. Well, I figured it out. I mean, Paul's figured it out, and then Paul showed me how to do it. So, in my mid 20s, I did a lot of abstract painting, trying to muddle around and figure things out. It wasn't abstract on purpose. I was trying to reach something or trying to produce something, and all I could really do was come up with some brush marks on a surface. I couldn't really render anything. I couldn't really produce any recognizable forms that you see in nature, but I was trying to do it in a kind of expressive way, and I still couldn't do it. And then I also had all these surrealistic ideas in my head where, you know, in my mid-20s, I just wanted to do zeitgeist stuff as well. That was another sort of thing that was in the way. I wanted to do something political, express the time and stuff like that, but at the same time, I wanted to do something that was beautiful, and it was so hard to fuse these things together. Anyway, I won't talk about it too much because it's a headache, and I've got paintings to do right now. So I think that's the video, and I'll do another one next week in the shop, and I'll show you guys around the gallery and the building that the gallery is in, and I'll show you some stuff I'm working on. I work on paintings in there, but it is very, very teeny tiny. Anyway, thank you.